Hello everyone, my name is Daniel and I'm just a casual sim racer. And today I want to highlight my new CSL DD wheel. This is the 5 Newton meter version. I'm going to be using it with Grand Prix Legends. Of course, it's the obvious choice for me. First game to try out and use the new wheelbase with Grand Prix Legends, where it all started for me, where I got into sim racing. And so I'm going to return. I periodically do videos on Grand Prix Legends. You know, it's one of my favorite sims to sit down and just race on. It's just, there's something about the force feedback and just the look of the game. It was like the peak of that 2D graphics era, and so it just looks fantastic, of course, with some improvements by the modding community. One thing to note, this wheelbase did not feel very good with Grand Prix Legends using the default force feedback, whereas my T300 did, my Thrustmaster T300. I did use the force feedback patch, version 3.0, link that in the video description, and that solved all my problems. My settings, which are also in the video description, so you can tweak those and use those, or just go with those if you like the way it feels. My settings are a latency of 0.11, damping of 0, and the overall maximum force feedback of 350. So that's what I'm going with this. Feels great. I love the force feedback, the way it just feels on the track. I'm going to be driving the Genie Mk 10, powered by an Oldsmobile engine. It's one of the slower Can-Am cars. Be driving it around the new track that just released a couple months ago for Grand Prix Legends, and that is Continental Divide Raceways, and that's in Colorado. And so it's just a different track to race at, and it'll be exciting. And so I'm going to get out here and do some laps. I've knocked the AI down a few notches to slow them down because they're really fast at this track, and I'm not quite comfortable with this track yet. And I'm also one of the slower cars. But it's a unique car. It's not in, I think, any other mods out there, any other sims. So it's a unique car to drive, so I wanted to drive it. Be a quick 3-lap race. We'll get into some qualifying, I'll talk, and then we'll jump into the race. One thing to note, though, before I get started, I want to show you my shirt here. Try to get in a good position here. This is the shirt that's one of the shirts that's on my store that I just launched. That's also in the video description. Check that out. That's where I'm going to be releasing the mods. For now, there's just some merch items. There's this shirt, there's a sweater, some other things like a cup, a mug, and some stickers and stuff. So check that out. That's where we'll be releasing the Casual Sim Studios mods we're developing. The first mods tentatively scheduled to release on December 1st of this year. We'll see if that happens. So anyways, I digress. Let's jump into this, and I'll tell you a little bit more about how this feels and everything. So no, we don't want to restore. Jump right in here. You can see the layout here on the screen. Let me know too if this is like a format you like. I'm doing it more just to show off the wheelbase. I don't plan to do this in the future, recording over the shoulder. At some point, I have another computer now I just recently got. I'm still trying to set up, having moved and everything for my new job. So I'll have a separate computer, so I'll be able to set up a webcam and maybe even do some streaming if people are interested in that. I'm not a huge fan of streaming, but maybe like once a month, once every other month, special occasions, I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's get out on the course here. Turn the sound down here just a little bit so you can hear me a bit better. Alrighty, so one thing about this, of course, like I said, the force feedback feels great. I think this track looks beautiful. You can see the hills in the distance and all that. Tire's a little warm, so we'll take it a little easy on this out lap. I mean, a little cold, so we'll take it easy on this out lap. I don't tires warm up. But yeah, the force feedback going over rises, it'll get lighter. It just feels really good in this wheel. There's no notchiness because direct drive, so it's just perfectly smooth, and the immersion is definitely there. But I actually think it's interesting. A lot of people say wheelbases don't necessarily make you faster. But the ability, because there's less, especially, I know the DD1 is a super light internal mechanism. It allows you to twist the wheel so quickly, especially if you have to put in some counter steer. I think there actually is some performance benefits to be had, at least with the CSL DD. So, as opposed to like a gear-driven wheel, and even like my Thrustmaster T300, I think my ability to just have that quick, just flying counter steer, it's just a millisecond quicker, but potentially in certain situations, especially driving some of these older cars, that could save a car in a moment that maybe other times it wouldn't. Oh no. Lost it there, but you'll notice the car transmitted that very well, the force feedback. I'll go back on the track, yep, so you'll feel it on the steering wheel, all of it very good. The scenery here too. The track looks great. Step off here if I hit these tires. Yep, just feel it to the wheel. It's just great. Go through another S here. Circuit's very, a little bit different than a lot of circuits. I really kind of like the layout. S's, they're a little bit different formed. So, it's nice. So yeah, so I'll be using, this wheelbase is the 5 Newton meter version. I'll be using that for several months before I put my power pack on and go up to the 8 Newton meters, because I want to compare this and get really used to this and compare it to my T300, compare it to the, we're going off the track. Talking and driving might not be the best thing at a track I'm not used to, but we'll do our best. Saw that real powerful kick from the force feedback. Pretty cool. But yeah, no, so it's what was I talking about? Oh, the 5 Newton meter. So the 5 Newton meter wheelbase, I'll be using that just to get a comparison. I have a G29, I have a T150, I have a T300. I'm going to compare it against all those wheels, the 5 Newton base version, to get a good comparison and feel. And honestly, like for Grand Prix Legend, this 5 Newton meters, like as you've seen, the force is great, and I don't even have it cranked up as high as it could be. Like I could have the force higher. So, but it definitely feels very solid where I've got it. A little more force, at least in peak moments, than maybe my T300 could deliver. But overall, just nice, steady turning force when it should be, and light when it shouldn't be. And then it also has that ability to deliver, when you're going off the track or you hit something or hit another car, that oomph that maybe you weren't getting with my T300. I mean, it's not that much stronger. I think a T300 puts out around just under 4 Newton meters of force, something like that. So it's not a ton more powerful, but it is a little bit noticeable in certain situations. The smoothness is what you really notice, and the ability to counter steer just a millisecond faster. At least for me, I noticed that driving some older cars that you're really throwing around. I don't know why I'm so slow here. Definitely not my fastest track, for sure. Alrighty, so we just couldn't dial it up in practice, and I'll be starting 20th. I just did not have the pace, unfortunately. Couldn't dial up one lap, kept going off, or just too slow in portions. So, probably based on our speed, I think we could probably end up 17th. Maybe a little higher, but definitely a little gap there. The front, though, competing for the win will be Dan Gurney, Jim Hall, Bruce McLaren, John Surtees, Peter Revson. You got, Dan Gurney, you got Chris Amon, Mario Andretti, Mark Donohue's in this field. So it's just star stacked full of not just 1960s Can-Am stars, but 1960s, just racing stars. We have the most underpowered car on the grid, so we'll see how we can do. I see some smoke ahead of us. Don't know exactly what's going on. Maybe a car blew its engine right at the start. I think they did. That gives us some free positions right there. I think we're up maybe 16th or 17th at the very least. That is beneficial for us. The car is heavy, the tires are cold, brakes are cold. 1960s car. It's essentially a death trap at this point. Try and get a good exit there. I'm not sure how good I did. I'm going to try to slipstream. Some traffic here. Maybe we got something. I'm going to brake early. This corner here is deceptively tricky. It's a sweeper. A little bit tightens up, then it's sweeping, and then it really tightens up here at the end. Let's see if we can get up the inside. Yes, we were able to do that. It's a good pass here. Going into the oak tree bend here. Not sure if that's its actual name, but there's a big old tree on the inside, so that's what I'm calling it. Alright, we got the first tight S here. Followed by a not so tight S. And And then another tight S. And then we'll head on to the straight. Straight away after kind of a elevation changing parabolica a little bit. Opens up. But the elevation change going up and down can definitely be tricky. Alrighty, I think we're up into 16th. Got cars fighting up here. Probably faster than me, but I think the fact that if they were going too wide there a little bit, slowed them down a bit. I can get a good exit out of this corner. It's probably my best corner on the track. Yeah, yep, there we go. Pretty good exit. Too widing in. Come on, guys, stay like that. Fight. Braking early. There's the first little kink. And then here we go into the tighten up here. Throw up the inside. We're up another position. Wow, this is the best I've ever driven here. I hope I'm not jinxing myself. Come on, guys. Braked a little later than maybe I should have into that S, but I'm trying to make something happen here. Keep it interesting for y'all. Yeah, I can't. Oh no. Okay, we're alright. We're alright. I gotta stop taking risks. Gotta stop taking risks. I'm in a pretty good spot for this car as it is. Power down. There we go. Alright, we're in 15th. No, we're 16th. 15th? I think we're 5th out of 16th. I'm not exactly sure. Brake. Alright, this will be the last lap here. 3-lap race goes quick, doesn't it? Don't screw it up. Oh, that car's going wide. We went on the inside though. Touch the grass. If we hadn't touched the grass, I think we would have had him. Come on. Come on. Brake a little late, maybe. Just a little bit. Just a little late. Okay. Come on, make a move. Make a move. God, slow everyone up. Nah, they're gonna go single file here. No one's doing anything to help me out. Come on. I don't see anything happening. I don't have the horsepower to make a pass in a straight line. So we're just, that's gonna be it. Wow, well. Definitely faster laps than my qualifying time. Alrighty, 15th. That's not too bad. So that was definitely a lot of fun. It's just a great looking track. It's a lot of fun to drive. It's super challenging. If you want a tough AI, at least in my opinion, they're tough compared to certain tracks. This is the track for you. This is definitely a challenge. The S's are tricky. I had a lot of fun. Might want to try it out. A little faster car than the Genie, but you know, if you want to experience, you know, kind of go what I did, I definitely think it's a fun combination. Hot lapping is definitely a challenge, and I think it's definitely a lot of fun. So cruise around the track here and pull into the pits, but I think I'll be signing off here. This is, check out the settings for the CSL DD. I think this is a great way to show it off and break it in as some Grand Prix legends, how I got started in sim racing many years ago. And have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.